If someone already on the other side could show you a practical and clear way with which to approach your prayer life, what if a soul already in purgatory could show you how to make the best of your limited time while you're still on this earth? The prayer life, drawing close to God, can sometimes be a very difficult and lonely path to take, especially during these our modern times. Actually, many saints within the church went through a multitude of difficulties, trials, and persecution throughout their lives. Saint Padre Pio suffered a lot of rejection and was even blocked from saying Mass for a very long time. Saint Faustina endured a lot of ridicule in the convent and sometimes isolation. Saint Paquita was sold to slavery at a young age. Saint Therese suffered many intense, difficult interior battles and poor health over the course of her life. The lives of the saints, recorded in pious books, are a perfect example for us to follow and a source of wisdom and strength in these times of difficulty. One such book which contains a wealth of wisdom on the spiritual life is the unpublished manuscript An Purgatory. Within it are insights that will help you massively in your quest to draw closer to Christ. Hi, and welcome to another video. If you're new here, please hit the subscribe button. It helps tremendously with the channel. And with that being said, Sister Mary Gabriel begins. What are the few moments we have to pass on earth compared to eternity? At the hour of death, you will not find that you have done too much. Be very generous. Do not listen to yourself, but always look at the goal to which Jesus calls you. That is sanctity, pure love. Then go forward and never look back. Great crosses that often break the heart, so to say, are the portion of God's friends. Firstly, we must acknowledge that following God, a life of faith, can be very difficult at times and challenging. There can be so many trials, tribulations, and despair. However, as mentioned before, the lives of the saints must be an example for us, lessons from which you can draw strength and courage when times are difficult. Prayer is crucial and of great importance. The first thing you must do when you wake up is pray. This completely changes the dynamic of the day. Make it a habit to pray your rosary every day. Stay within the sacrament and be in a state of grace. Go to confession regularly, at least once a month. Try to make your life a life of prayer and live your life as a gift for God. You recently complained to Jesus that he had sent you many sorrows this year. It is true, but why do you find these crosses so heavy? It is because you do not love enough. There is no holiness without suffering. When you allow grace to work freely in you, when Jesus really reigns over your will, and you allow him to be the master of your whole being, then no matter how heavy the crosses are, you will not feel their weight. Love will absorb everything. But until that time comes, you will suffer, and suffer much, because the soul does not at once detach itself from the world and act purely for God. It takes time. God is pleased, however, with your efforts so far. She makes a beautiful statement in that passage. There is no holiness without suffering. The best analogy we could use is that of modern professional athletes. Even St. Paul refers to this as running a race and obtaining a crown. There is something uncompromising about the way professional athletes approach their careers. They have special diets that require self-denial. They train hard every day and put their bodies on the line, all for an earthly crown or championship that is usually relevant for only a year. Then next season, they have to begin the process all over again. Their careers only go on for as long as their bodies are in their prime. Then they retire, having left nothing on the table. What more effort should we be putting with regards to our salvation and eternity and God, our Creator? Jesus is obedient to the point of death. We, on the other hand, this has not been asked of us. When we accept this fact, it is much easier for us to go on from there and conform to the will of God, realizing that this time on earth is a period for our purification. If only it were given to you to understand with what scorn and indifference Jesus is treated on earth, not only by the world in general, but how he is insulted, mocked, and held in derision, even by those who ought to love him. Such indifference is found even in religious communities of men and women, his chosen people, where he ought to be treated as a friend, a father, a spouse. Often, he does not receive the consideration shown to a stranger. The indifference is found also among the clergy, at present more than at any other time. The most sacred reality is often treated with coldness and boredom. These words she speaks are very true today. Sometimes those who follow God become inappreciative of the gifts he gives them because they've become used to loving God and see it as something that needs little attention. They go through Mass, feast days, and rituals as a routine, but these really mean little to them. To be able to attend Mass freely is a huge gift in itself. Some people in war-torn countries or other parts of the world don't have this privilege to attend daily Mass, have access to the sacraments, go to confession, and receive the Eucharist whenever they please. The gift to practice their faith freely. It is of great importance not to let this privilege go to waste or ever take this gift for granted. For these gifts, we must give God thanks every day. Something that seems negligible, like the ability to get into your car and drive to attend Mass, is a very huge gift in itself. Some must travel great distances on foot and do not manage to do so every time because of the great distances required. Gratefulness is the heart of prayer. Giving thanks to God every day for the gifts that he has given us is something we shouldn't take lightly, no matter how negligible the thing we thank him for seems. We must thank him nevertheless. Now, if you like this type of content and are interested in another video that will bring you closer to God, click on the video above and I'll catch you on the other side.